The Erie Coke Plant remains open even though its operating permit has expired. The company applied for the permit renewal before the August 2017 deadline, so the plant can operate while the renewal process takes place. According to the Department of Environmental Protection, that process involves plenty of public input. So residents living near the plant and local environmentalists realize this is the time to effectively speak out against Erie Coke and its history of pollution.
We see this as the golden moment that we can weigh in and maybe try to finally get something done to stop their pollution.
After Erie Coke filed its permit renewal application, the Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection encouraged Erie Coke to reach out to the public. The DEP suggested the company host a tour of the plant for environmentalists and the leaders of nonprofit organizations located near the plant. Erie Coke gave the visitors a bus tour around the plant in May of last year, but at no time was the group allowed inside. The tour did not impress Sister Pat Lupo, who has been involved with local environmental issues for many years.
We did a tour of a Coke plant in the Pittsburgh area, and we did a tour of the plant. We were in the plant, and we were around the edges of the plant. We did not just drive around in a vehicle and look at the plant.
The disappointed bus group decided to stay in touch and meet regularly to keep up to date on the progress of the permit renewal for Erie Coke. They also decided that they would be prepared when the DEP holds a required public hearing on Erie Coke's permit.
Well, we're all for jobs, we're all for businesses, we're all for growth, we're all for compliance. Our concern is when there's non-compliance and when there's health issues and people at risk. So the goal would be to try and resolve any differences and to bring them into compliance, but it doesn't seem that has worked.
And when you start looking at this demographic that we serve and the particular impact that pollutants have on them, then we think the standard of Erie Coke's transparency ought to be raised.
The group named themselves Hold Erie Coke Accountable, or HECA. Their goal is not necessarily to shut the plant down, but to have Erie Coke abide by the rules of its operating permit. HECA launched a website last fall explaining the importance of the permit renewal application process and the importance of public participation in that process. The group also has a Facebook page. Prominent on both those sites is a video produced by the group that explains its mission.
Everyone should care. There's an economic element to this challenge. There's certainly a health issue to this challenge. And that will impact ultimately everything that we're all trying to do, which is, grow Erie into the best possible version that it's ever been.
April 16th of this year was the most important day for HECA so far. It hosted a public meeting about Erie Coke to inform citizens about the permit renewal process and to explain how citizens can get involved. The guest speaker was the executive director of a Pittsburgh environmental group called GASP. It was revealed that Erie has only 2 air monitoring stations, one at Presque Isle, 2 miles from Erie Coke, the other at 10th and Marne, 1.6 miles from the plant. The audience was told to insist for more.
The regulators and the facility need to hear from the community, that the community cares about this issue, that the community is seeing or smelling things of concern, and that they demand improvement.
No public health survey has been conducted in the neighborhoods near Erie Coke, so no official link can be made between citizen health problems and Erie Coke. HECA is ready to do its own soil sampling to determine if any ground contamination in neighborhoods can be tied to the plant. Meanwhile, a date for that important public hearing on Erie Coke by the DEP has not yet been set.